There's a lot of guys who sort of all of a sudden are like real big
Everyone's
players.
doing
Norm.
well,
Norm
yeah.
got his own TV show.
Norm's doing well. What?
What?
Do you hang out with Norm, or is it impossible?
It's pretty impossible because he's crazy.
He is.
In L.A., I call him and he goes, I go, what happened last week? I called you to go on. You called me? And I go, yeah. On my phone? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, I got that. I go, well, you didn't call me back? No.
And he's serious.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And yeah, I know. Like, I have him on the show.
I love him, though. He's the funniest guy around. I think you need to be kind of crazy to be really funny.
He is very funny. I love him, too. And he has a gambling problem, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling us
That's no
how
secret.
He was all excited that he had $80,000. He won $80,000 in Vegas, but he had lost like $100,000 on basketball.
Right.
And that's on nickel slots. That's how serious he is.
Did you always know he had a gambling problem?
Mm-hmm.
You did. When did you know that? At Saturday Night Live?
I first knew he had a pee in a bottle problem.
Right.
Remember that? You always talk about
Yeah, it's
that.
great.
And then I
Does
knew...
he still save his urine? Do you know?
I don't know. He used to put it in Ziploc baggies, sign it, and send it to fans.
Is that true?
No.
Oh.
But he did. He would take... After Saturday Night Live, they give you a car, a limousine, if you want to go to the party, and he would take it to Atlantic City.
Really?
He's a hard ass. He's hardcore, dude. I
know he'll
couldn't
even
do
get into
it.
fist fights.
And then he'll stay at a table for hours and hours.
What do you think of that?
I feel lucky.
And then you don't even know if he's married or single. It's never really clear.
I don't know, but I know girls like him. He's you know, when you're something's that wrong, they pick up on it and like it.
They like the tragedy of that.
Fixer upper, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make him a regular guy.
Right, but never.
No, I used to hang out with Norm Macdonald a lot. Me and Norm were really close.
I loved him.
And we used to go play tennis. And after we played tennis, we'd go into like the 7-Eleven, and we'd always do this thing where we go, okay, we're gonna go in together, and each of us has to point at one item and make a joke about it. And it was really hard. Like people think making jokes as a comedian is easy, but it's not. But I'll never forget Norm did this. It's the only one I remember. But I pointed to, you remember those things, animal crackers?
Yeah.
And I pointed to the animal crackers, and Norm just goes, that horse cock didn't taste very good.
I don't know if Norm still tours. You'd be a good compliment for Norm, man.
You don't think I'm too much, too similar?
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
Jeez, he's my hero.
I think it'd be work, yeah.
I'd be blown away.
Yeah, the guy's amazing.
Never met him.
Very funny. Well, you know, just it's such an impressive stand-up to see live. You know?
Yeah.
Because you think right before he goes on, I opened up for him for about a year, and after we did Dirty Work, and then he always think like no matter where you are, you think like he's not gonna make it. Like he goes, he's holding his stomach. He goes, I can't do this, man. I'm not gonna make it here. I don't want to go on. I want to quit. Like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And you got to push him in front of the microphone, and then he does an hour and 45 and like destroys. Doesn't take the mic out like this, like and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw him at Caroline's when I was broke. I was poor. I wasn't even in the club, so I had to pay the real fee. You know, I couldn't be like, I'm a comic. They didn't know me.
I know.
And
you mean the fair prices over there too?
Yeah, right. I spent like $70.
That's great when you're broke.
Yeah, and I went and saw him, and he was killing, and he got heckled in the middle of the show, and he's drinking a Coca-Cola, and he just goes, it's dead silent, this tension, like, what's he gonna say? And he just goes, I don't know what to do about that, you know. And then he goes back to the act. I've never seen anyone handle a heckle like that.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now sometimes I just go,
Funniest guy on the planet.
No, he really is. He's up there. He's very, very funny. He's a fun guy to talk. See, doing the road with a guy like that is fun for the late night conversations that last till 6 in the morning about show business, about who he hates.
Yeah,
like you start talking about who you hate.
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's the funnest stuff.
Oh, and who sucks and who you hate and this and that and the other thing, and then
you were Norm's assistant.
And I was Norm's assistant, and I wish I could like go back to
you
those
got any
days.
Norm stories?
Yeah, I hear this is my best Norm story.
Yeah.
So I went to the guys would like take me out, like Keckner and Norm and Spade, and they're all fucking gems, like really, really nice guys. They were always so nice to me, and I think they liked having me around because I was like a young kid, and I would laugh, you know, and I was just in fucking heaven. Like, so they'd take me out. They took me out one night, and they were getting drunk and whatever, and so I meet this Australian girl, and we go back, fool around, whatever. And I come into work the next day, and I turn to Norm, and I go, I gotta tell you something, man. I go, and don't tell anybody. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna tell anybody, And I go, like last night, I went out with this girl, the girl at the bar. She goes, she snorted cocaine off my cock. Like that. And I was like, I know, I'm 20 years old or whatever, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm in the city for the first time, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And he goes, wow. He goes, oh my God, that's crazy. Cocaine off your cock. And I go, but don't tell anybody, I don't want anyone to know. So then maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, the fucking UPS guy comes in, with the packages or whatever. And he's like, oh, hey, Daryl. And he's like, hey, Norm, how you doing? He's like, hey, you see this guy right here? Guy likes to get cocaine snorted off his cock. And I was like, now I wouldn't be embarrassed, but I'm fucking mortified. I'm like, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
And he did it. He did it for like 3 months.
To everybody.
At any point, like I'd be standing there with the jokes. He'd be like, Jason, go get the jokes. And he'd be smoking in the hallway, and he'd be like, no. Because, he fucking had like a really high bar for jokes. And fuck that. I'd be like, oh my God. And then there'd be like a page standing next to him. He'd be like, hey, Jason? Guy likes to have cocaine snorted off his guy. So fucking funny. He did it to my mom. He said it to my mom once.
No!
Yeah. And then I remember because the other part of the job was that I would work the door at the parties. And my mom came down for the party.
At the after party.
The after party.
Yeah.
And she, and I was trying to keep Norm away from my mom so he wouldn't say that to my mom. And of course he goes, Jason likes to have cocaine. Snorted off his cock. And my mom was great. She goes, well, I bet you do a lot of weird stuff too, Norm.
I got 2 good Norm stories.
Good.
My first comedy club gig ever is in Catch a Rising Star, Princeton. And Norm Macdonald, this is 1990 or 91. Norm's done a few local talk shows in America, small time, but he hasn't made it in America. He's kind of got a little following, but now he's starting to headline in America at comedy clubs. This is at a time where in New Jersey, if you weren't telling dirty nursery rhymes wearing a leather jacket, you weren't really interesting to anybody. But here's Norm, this goofy Canadian accent, really telling these long, weird bits for 8 shows. And he probably bombed 3 out of 8 shows. Whenever he killed, he would kill, when it was a sophisticated crowd, he would get him and he would kill. He would just go backstage, he'd pull out a deck of cards, and he'd make me and Rich Voss play poker with him. When he bombed, Norm would go to the exit and say goodbye to every single person who left. Just to be weird and make us laugh and be awkward for the people. He would thank everyone for coming after he bombed.
Serious?
He was such a nut.
I love that. That's a committed person.
Years old, right? And I'm 16 in the audience. And then I got to become this huge fan of Norm. And he was Norm. But back then, there wasn't a lot of people doing stand-up like Norm. Like, there wasn't this sort of angle of sort of this absurdity to it, this sort of, it was more of a structured, down the middle way of doing stand-up back then. And so Norm was this sort of, he was a curveball. Yeah, this sort of curveball, and we just couldn't get enough of it. So every time we was in town, we'd be down there. But Howard Wagman told me this story about Norm, and the first time he came down to do stand-up at Yuck Yucks in Ottawa, and he got off stage and he was disappointed in how it went. Norm was. He said, I'm never doing this again. He walked down the street. Howard Wagman chased him down Spark Street in Ottawa and said, no, that was great. You're coming back. And he made him come back, and the rest is history.
I was on a plane with him accidentally twice.
Nice.
Twice.
That must have been amazing.
Twice on 2 separate occasions. Just totally random. We sat next to each other on the plane. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And the last one, it was so funny because he was telling me about how he quit smoking. Yeah, I quit smoking. It's fucking, turns out it's real bad for you. Like, this whole thing about quitting smoking. And we're talking about it, like, how hard was it to quit? This whole thing. The moment we land, he walks into the gift shop, buys a pack of cigarettes, and he's lighting them before he gets out the door.
Yeah.
And I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did, but all that talking about it made me want to smoke.
Yeah, it's probably all an elaborate setup, right? He probably was planning it the whole way.
I don't know.
Who knows? He probably doesn't even smoke. He was just doing it as a gag. No, he was.
Can you share some of the stuff
With Norm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you have with Norm?
It was just, he reached out. He was a big, when people were going through it, Norm was one of the guys that would always reach out. And yeah, that was it. Just reached out. He sent me some cool stuff about like, funny will win.
Yeah.
That was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
amazing.
like, there's a war right, I don't want to spill the beans on a nice thing, but it was like,
You guys had a private thing.
yeah, it was cool.
But
and
he
it
was
ended,
very supportive when
yeah,
you were going
he
through your
spoke
stuff.
like poetically.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it ended, one of the messages ended with like, in a war for comedy, I think the ones with jokes will win. I was just like, yo,
Yeah.
That's fire.
Norm Macdonald is king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
amazing.
in no way has to do that.
No,
You know what I mean?
No.
To reach out, especially at that time, I thought was really cool.
it was 2 years ago. I mean, he had,
Yeah, as he's battling something, no disrespect,
Yes.
way worse.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, hey,
Yeah.
you need help?
I was with Adam Egget most of the time in Austin. The guy, you know Adam?
Yeah. From
And-
the store, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So me and Adam went to the Cowboys-Eagles game, and we were hanging out, and the whole time, because he was best friends with Norm.
Yeah.
So he was like
Yeah.
going through it, but he went through it the same way as like we just talked like Norm the whole time. Like the whole game, we were like, you must have. Yeah, you got hit pretty hard. You know what's worse than getting hit like that? Blood cancer. It's no good, that blood cancer. Just like that the whole time. It was great. I hope that wasn't sharing too much for Adam.
No.
But it was fun. Norm's the best.
Yeah.
Well, it was, but he died of fucking. Oh, right. I forgot he fucking vanished.
Yeah.
Norm.
Yeah.
Classic.
Did you know he was sick?
I didn't know.
No, me either. You said you had two stories. There was what's the other one?
Oh, so he'd invite me over to SNL once in a while to play poker on off nights, on Monday nights or something. And to watch him play poker while watching Monday Night Football and a baseball game, like he was a gambler.
Right.
And I guess somehow one time I found myself on a tape night on a live SNL. I'm in the hallway with a bunch of pages, writers, basically plus ones filling out the hallway. I don't know if I'm sure you've been up there enough to know that where the reception is, there's a lot of hubbub.
Right.
You can go to the dressing rooms this way, and to the right is the studio, and makeup, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I believe Rosie O'Donnell was hosting SNL, and her very best friend Penny Marshall was there to support her. Penny Marshall, at the height of her movie director swag, is walking through the hallway with her head down, sunglasses on, baseball hat, doesn't want to be bothered. Treating all these basically writers and NBC employees and me and Norm as big-timing us, pretending we're just looky-loos out on the street, right? Just doing a celebrity don't bother me moment. Flyby, thank you. And Norm picks up on it, and he just starts pointing and screaming, Laverne! 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 And she didn't look up. She never knew it was Norm. She just gone.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, the whole hallway's falling down. Like